In this video, I'm going to teach you all about the new meeting poll feature in Microsoft Teams. We're going to cover how to create polls, how to launch polls within a meeting. I'm also going to show you what the polls look like to both presenters and attendees. Lastly, I'll show you what the poll output looks like at the end of the meeting. All that and more coming up. Hey everyone, it's Joe from FC Tech, a great place to find tech news, reviews, and tutorials. If you're new here, make sure you click the subscribe button. And all the links we reference in this video can be found in the video's description. And with that said, let's jump into it. The polls feature in Microsoft Teams was announced at Ignite 2020 and is currently in the process of being rolled out to customers. As shown here, you can see it's in the middle of the rollout phase. And they just recently started, and then Microsoft recently started rolling this out. I believe their plans are to have this completely rolled out by early December of this year. So if you don't have this already, be on the lookout for it. But for now, let me pull up Microsoft Teams and I'll show you around polls. All right, to start, I'll show you how to add a poll to a meeting. First, I'll start by creating the meeting. I'll add my attendee. You all know how to do this already. Right, and that is now created. Now if I actually go in and edit the meeting, you'll notice at the top, if I click on the plus here, I have the option to add forms to it. I'll click add. And now I'm presented with the option to create a poll before the beginning of my meeting. So I'll click save. And you can see here it adds a polls tab to the top. To create our first poll, I'll just click on create new poll. From here, I can enter in various option questions or multiple answer questions. I'm just going to leave this with question 1 here, and then option 1, option 2. And I have the option when creating this initially to keep responses anonymous or not. And I also have the option to share results automatically after viewing, and I'll show you what that looks like in an actual meeting. So I'll click save here, and you'll see that it'll actually populate on my screen. See, you can see that it's in draft form here. It is not launched. From here, I can actually run with this for the meeting, or I can click on create new. I can tell you that it would be a good idea to create all of this before the meeting, just so you're not flustered to try and get these pumped out while you're in the middle of a meeting itself. So I'll create question 2, leave it as option 1, option 2. I'll leave this as keep responses anonymous, and I will set this to not share results automatically. Then I'll click on save. Awesome. And you can see here I have 2 different drafts, one for question 1, one for question 2. And as I stated when I was going through the creation, question 1 is set to not anonymous, and the results will be shared. Question 2, it is anonymous, and the results will not be shared. Okay, from here I'm going to click on join. And I'm just going to join with no audio. And what I'm also going to do is I'm actually going to connect with my secondary account, my Siri account, and I will connect to this meeting as well. Just so you can see what it looks like from an attendee's view. So I'll click on join. All right, now that I'm connected with the attendee account, I'll go back to my presenter account or organizer account. And from here, you'll notice at the top of the screen, there's actually a little polls option. I can click on this. And as you'll see, you can see quite clearly stated there's question 1 and question 2. And I can individually launch one of these, one or each of these when I'm ready. I'll start by launching question number 1. You You can see it's live, and you can see that it actually popped up right over my meeting conversation here. And if there's video displaying or something being shared, this will pop up over that. From here, you can select an option, click Submit, and you can see it immediately gives you feedback on who voted for what. And if I flip back over, to the second account here, you'll notice that in meeting chat, it pops up with the same question. So here I will click on option 2, click Submit. I believe if you're using the web-based client, the actual form will show up in meeting chats. If you're using the desktop client, it will actually show up as a pop-up. So the experience is a little bit different. All right, now I'll hop back over to my organizer accounts. I'll click Done now that we're done collecting votes, and you'll notice here that I got 1 vote for each, 2 votes total. I'll click Done. And now I'm actually going to launch the second one. Okay, and for this, I'll do option 2, Submit. And then I'll hop back over here, and you'll notice that it has the option here as well. And you also notice that it gives you pop-ups, which is really helpful to let you know that this is being presented. So I'll click Submit. Okay. There it is. So now I have answered both questions on my attendee account. I'll hit Done. And from here, you'll actually notice under View Options, I have the option to close the poll. I have the option to export results or delete results. So if I click on Export Results, it actually downloads an Excel spreadsheet. Okay, and as you can see here, I have both question 1 and question 2 clearly stated. I can see all the information about who submitted it for question 1, the email, the name, what they chose for an answer to question 1. And if I click on question 2, I can see here, when the start time, the completion time. And as you saw when I was actually creating the questions, the answers to these, the email is anonymous for both, and then I actually have the answers over under question 2. You also notice that there's an option to close the poll, so I can actually click on Close Poll. And that finalizes it so that no one can actually submit an answer later. That could be useful if you're, like I said, if you're trying to make sure that no one's able to go back in and submit an answer later or not. And you can also delete the poll altogether. And it should remove it from the meeting chat once this is done. There it goes. So it should be gone. I can also create new polls on the fly. Although, as I said before, I probably would reserve this for before the meeting, just so you're not flustered to try and get these entered in on when you're in the meeting itself. But for now, I'll just leave the meeting here, and I'll leave the meeting over here. And I'm going to launch this meeting again. If I go back to polls, you can always go back in after the fact and review the results again here, even though they're closed, and you can see that it clearly changed the status here. I'm still able to come in after the fact, so you do not have to necessarily export the results during the meeting. You can come in after the fact when you're ready, and you can export the results. You can reopen or delete the poll after as well. But that's pretty much it. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.